Hey, hey. Tobago updates.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Well, viewers, we are chatting this morning with Mr. Bradon Roberts, who is a Tobago officer for TTUTA. Good morning and welcome to you, sir. How are you?
Good morning, I'm all right. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Now, getting into our conversation this morning, we are speaking about TTUTA Tobago Professional Development Day that's happening pretty soon.
It happened.
Oh, happened?
Yes, it was Friday, God.
Right. So what can you share with us about that?
Right, so we have our 83rd anniversary of Tobago Teachers Get Together, where we usually have a series of activities where we award our retirees during the year. We also have a development day where we look at enriching sessions for our teachers. So the development day we had, it was Friday. However, we started Get Together with a webinar. We look at the history of Get Together and the preparations involved and so forth. We had a church service that was on the 4th of June. We then had the awards function on the Thursday, the 8th of June, and then the 9th, the Friday, we had our development day.
And what came out of the development day?
Right, so for the development, well, for Get Together, we usually have a team. And this year, we look at investing in the future. It's a comprehensive agenda where we look at the health, the financial, and the pedagogical well-being of our teachers. So we had 3 speakers this year. We had Mr. Springer, who looked at the pedagogy. We had Miss Celestine, who looked at finance. And we also had Miss Morrison, who looked at health. We were able to get 3 different segments where we looked at the 8 different aspects or components of health and seeing about your health. We then looked at the financial aspect, how teachers can prepare to manage their finances, prepare for investments and those things, how we can embrace the technology. We look at the pedagogy, how to deliver our education, to plan and prepare our lessons for our students. So we had that comprehensive team where we looked at the overall well-being of our teachers, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So every now and again, you need to enrich our teachers, and there's no one better to celebrate yourself than you. So we celebrate our teachers. We ensure we lift up our teachers at this time. The only drawback, though, it was RAM, yes, all the nights. But by the Trinidad teachers, they see the value more than our Tobago counterparts. So I really hope that our Tobago teachers come out. We may need to have a bigger venue because it was full, but mainly with our Trinidad counterparts.
Now, what is one thing you would say that came out of the development seminar and so on that would help, help our teachers or help improve our education system here in Tobago?
Well, those who weren't there, they missed a lot. We usually have powerful seminars. The only thing is sometimes these sessions, they impact the life of those persons who participated for about a month, for about 6 weeks. And then life gets the better of you and you go back to your old ways. So especially where we have school will be closing in early July. So when we have our seminar or development day within the month of June, you leave enriched. When you go on vacation, the school term starts back in September, life really comes back, reality really comes back, and sometimes we go back to our old ways. However, there was a strong call in this get-together that we keep the conversations going, we keep the camaraderie going, we keep talking with our teachers about what came out of the development day. The standout for me is, you see, we are in a cultural war now where we're seeing the young persons, they're gravitating to the negativity. The older ones, they're having that struggle interacting and connecting with the younger ones because you did it your way back then, and the young persons now, we are seeing all levels of immorality now. We are seeing even at leadership levels outside of politics, inside of politics, where persons not really standing up tall as we would like them to. So this get-together was really about strengthening our teachers to make that stance.
All right. And, I'm looking into the next year for school, because I said we're basically at the end of this school year. What are you hoping for, especially for Tobago?
We are in scary times, really. I'm not seeing the direction of our leaders. I'm not seeing what the direction is. So even in our teaching fraternity, one of the call was for us to not reflect how we are treated, but reflect who we are. So we as teachers, we need to stand up, because I'm not seeing that resources are being made available to education. I was here recently talking about increments and gratuity, and the administrator found about 2.5 million. Apparently, they repurposed the money because those teachers did not get the money. So we cannot bank on all the frustrating things right now. So to say hope, we as teachers are making that call for all our teachers. We as teachers, we have to step up, because even if we throw our hands in the air, society won't get better, and we have to live here. So moving forward from September, well, completing this academic year and starting in the next academic year, I'm calling on our teachers to stand up as best as possible. It will be tough. And TTUTA will have to continue advocating. I'll be out here advocating. I'll be at the division meetings and so on, pushing as much as can be pushed. But to say, looking externally for hope, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. We have fancy terms being banded out by our leaders. I will always bring up this Tobago-centric thing. I don't know. If there wasn't a plan, why go to the media and say something about it?
And there still hasn't been any forward movement. You haven't seen any forward movement where that plan is concerned.
I don't hear about it. I think I'm the only person who brings it up every now and again. What I would say though, there is a committee now looking at how we can have a policy framework for online engagement. I am on that committee. So there is some work being done currently trying to build a framework, because we need to embrace the technology. We need to have greater structure right now in education. So work is taking place in that regard. But to answer the first question you asked about hope, externally, we can't bank on that. I'm calling on our teachers to support each other as best as possible. We can't afford to get frustrated now, and it's really tough, but we have to stand up tall.
And when it comes to, as you mentioned, technology, now, I mean, it's funny that we are still having this conversation now, because, we came through the pandemic, and that should have been the place where we had it sorted out, because we were pushed into a situation where we had to depend on technology. But it seems as though that after the pandemic, we just went back to the old ways.
Resources, money talks. So the division can't afford pre-pandemic measures. We're talking about technology. We're talking about increasing bandwidth. We're talking about devices. We are talking about all the responsibilities that the division, not just the Division of Education, the Ministry of Education also complains about money. So we have schools with basic infrastructural issues, and now we're going to talk about technology. We are asking the same teachers that we can't find the money to pay what they worked for. Not a new initiative like we're begging for something new. You can't pay them for what they worked for, but you're asking them to get increased packages, buy devices, give our teachers, our students the best. So technology and the development that should have taken place coming out of the pandemic, it has been stymied by the management of funds. And if you don't invest in education, well, as you had the interview with the police officer, we'll have plenty more of those things to discuss, because education is what shapes your society.
Certainly. All right, well, Mr. Roberts, unfortunately, we are out of time this morning, but I just want to thank you so much for being able to be on with us and for sharing us some of the updates. And we're certainly hoping that the lessons or the teachings that happened within the development day can help encourage our teachers and motivate our teachers to keep going. It's certainly a tough job, but we are grateful for the job that you guys do within our society.
Yes, and it's for us to keep the conversation going and not leave it to die. So it was a very enriching session, but it's for us to keep the conversation going. So thank you even for the platform here to even remind those who were present to speak with those who were not, to ensure that we all go together in this journey.
Certainly. All right, well, again, thank you so much. And then viewers, you certainly, thank you for being with us and for staying locked on to Good Morning Tobago and Tobago Updates. It's been my pleasure this morning to be with you. So have a safe and wonderful day, and we will see you again tomorrow.